We'll do it live, and it's Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. It's the Fantasy NBA today. What's up? Welcome to a new week of the late night fantasy goodies with your boys. Want to tell you about Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. Bet Online is your number one sports betting source for the new year. Every touchdown, three-pointer, and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more. Every game, every play, and every win. They got you at BetOnline. The game starts here. Doc, kick us off with our Magic Man of the night. Who you got, dude?
I did not study for this. I saw Amen Thompson beat the Boston Celtics in an epic comeback win. I think he had 33 points. I don't have his line pulled up. I'm trying to tweet this show out so we let the people know that we're here. Monster game. This was the official, I think, I am here moment for Amen Thompson. He's been awesome all year. This was not an anomaly or anything out of the ordinary, but he was absolutely fantastic. The Houston Rockets are the little team they could, and they just keep getting it done. And his teammate Dylan Brooks went bonkers. And Dylan Brooks is available in a ton of leagues. So Amen Thompson and the game winner and the full stat line and everything he did to help Houston win is my Magic Man.
So I'm not going to overthink this. I'm with the same situation here, but I am actually going to double up my Magic Man. My Magic Man, Doc, I watched 3 quarters. I was kind of busy prepping on the show and kind of in like brainstorm thought mode. So I missed like the first 10 minutes of the game. I came in like late first quarter and just locked in on that game. What a game. I'm so glad I did. It was feisty. The trash talk between Dylan Brooks and Jaylen Brown. The trash talk between Dylan Brooks and the city of Boston. It was amazing. I saw something really, really special tonight. And if you all watched, you can look at the box score here. Amen Thompson, 33 and 10 with 4 assists, a block, a steal, a 3. That's a career high, by the way. His previous career high was 25. Dylan Brooks, 36 points, made 10 threes. 10 threes, okay? That's a career high for him.
That's a Houston record.
The competitiveness, Doc, the balls that it took for these two guys to do what they did, because they lit up the scoreboard for 69 points, Doc, but Amen Thompson, Doc, put a blanket on Jason Tatum. He was scoreless in the first half. First scoreless first half in 4 years, Doc. Dude, Amen Thompson is a two-way terror. He's an absolute two-way terror, dude. And we had a lot of big performances. Anthony Davis against Charlotte had a 40-20 game. But I'm sorry, dude. The best thing that I saw on Monday night was the combo platter of Dylan Brooks and Amen Thompson at Boston, dude.
Sweet. We agree. I will say this. Thank God Amen Thompson plays for Ime Udoka, because if he was in Golden State, we would not be seeing Amen Thompson do this. I mean, this has Udoka's fingerprints all over it, dude. Tough, D, hustle, keep your mouth shut and play. Like, they are just balling. They're going to work every day, man. There's no kidding around in Houston right now.
Bro, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown just won the chip. And these mofos just went in there. Dylan Brooks and Amen Thompson. Alpi Şengün and Jalen Green did not win this game. They were along for the ride. Dylan Brooks and Amen Thompson went Jordan and Pippen on this game. It was one game. I'm not making any overall comparisons here, but it was stupid, dude. It's one of the coolest things I've seen in the NBA all year.
Yeah.
So Doc,
and the Celtics could have used some Derek White tonight. I know that. But all right, let's move on.
They could have, Doc. Al Horford did not play. Sam Hauser did not play. Of course, on the Houston side, you don't have Jabari Smith, and Cam Whitmore was out of this game as well. But you had number 2 in the West. You had number 2 in the East. Okay, this was fun, man. The Ime Udoka Bowl, Doc. He got his first win against his former team. You know that felt good. And when I said a moment ago, I saw something special tonight. The defense that this team can play on you. Fred VanVleet, defensive stud. Tari Eason, defensive stud. And then you've got Amen Thompson and Dylan Brooks, okay? Like, Dylan Brooks is already a first or second team all-defense guy. Amen Thompson probably should be a first or second all-defense guy this year. You've got White and Holiday in Boston, Dort and Caruso in OKC, Allen and Mobley in Cleveland. Amen and Brooks might be the best of those defensive duos, bro. I like that Alpi Şengün came up clutch in this game, Doc. He hit a couple of key free throws very late in the game. He had a nice cut to the basket on a nice inbound feed for the dunk that gave him the lead late, and Boston eventually would tie and then set up the Amen Thompson game winner. I love the toughness shown by Jalen Green to take the shot to the eye. He had 12 points, 6 assists in 30 minutes, played through it anyway. And Doc, you're right. Derek White was missed in this game by the Boston Celtics, and it put a ton on Jason Tatum. And when Jason Tatum had Amen Thompson on him, that was the not the right formula for Boston tonight.
It wasn't. It was over. And the comeback, like, that's the other thing. They were down, I don't know how many points late, but they had to fight their way and claw back into this game. Tatum came down and hit a layup with 5 seconds left after Alpi hit those free throws, and then they gave the ball to Amen, and he hit a floater. And Amen, some of those moves and shots he made tonight were just awesome to watch. Like, they are going to be, they talk about how the Blazers passed on Michael Jordan back in the day. Well, the Blazers passed on Amen Thompson this year or last year. So very interesting.
Yes, it is. That is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I am Rick Kamla. We're the Fantasy NBA today here. And let's talk about the Lakers' victory over Charlotte. Again, like, Kevin Durant is starting on the All-Star team for the West. He shouldn't be. Anthony Davis should be over Kevin Durant. I think even Kevin Durant would acknowledge that. Anthony Davis went 42 and 23 tonight with 2 blocks. Mark Williams on the other side went 11, 8, and 5. And that's actually not that bad of a game for him. The Lakers all of a sudden are 8 games over 500. Okay, they're winning. JJ Redick has them playing consistently. They're not a great offensive team. They're not a great defensive team. Their net rating is 19. How are they 8 games over 500? Obviously, you're great in the clutch. And you've got these 2 badasses in LeBron and Anthony Davis doing their thing. On the Charlotte side, Doc, we lost LaMelo Ball tonight. Ankle injury. Sprained his left ankle during the second quarter. Did not return. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Vasily Micic, I think, I don't know if he's going to start or not. I mean, this could be it for LaMelo. 12 wins for Charlotte. They're not going anywhere. This happens every single year. Every single year. Over and over again. And Micic was great last year down the stretch when LaMelo was sitting in street clothes. So, I'm not saying that LaMelo's not going to play again this year or anything like that. This is not, hopefully not, as severe as, my mind is blank tonight. Jalen Johnson's injury on the Hawks. I hope it's not something like that, but I mean, I think we all know LaMelo Ball's not going to be playing at the end of the season.
I mean,
question is, do you want to go pick up Nick Smith or do you want to pick up Micic?
I want to go pick up Isaiah Collier or Scoot Henderson. I'm not really feeling either. Nick Smith is not a dime guy or a block and steal guy. He's kind of a Malik Beasley guy, but a low, like a poor man's, right? He'll score, he'll hit threes. It's kind of what he does. He's like a 2 and a 1's body. So I'm not really into that package. Misic has been pretty garbagey this year, Doc, to be honest with you. We have not seen the guy that we saw at the end of last year. He'll have a good night. He'll have a dud night. He'll have a good night. He'll have a what the like no stats at all. So I'm just not really feeling that right now. I can't give you guys somebody to pivot to. But maybe his name is Josh Okogie, Doc. 25 minutes here on Monday night, 19, 2-2 with 4 steals. The previous game didn't do a whole lot. The previous game to that, he went 16 and 10 with 3 assists and 2 steals. To me, Josh Okogie is the pivot guy here because we've seen Doc in his various spots when Okogie gets large minutes. He doesn't like live in the 20s for scoring and stuff like that. But he does some V. Krejci type stuff, Doc. You'll get 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, couple of blocks, couple of steals, couple of threes. Like the box score likes Josh Okogie, so I do think he's a pickup, dude.
Okay. And Josh Green, the other Josh, who starts for them, had 3 steals, 15 points, and 4 triples, 33 minutes. And he's not going to replace LaMelo Ball. That's more of what Okogie or Micic or the other guy, Nick Smith, would do. But Josh Green's been starting for a long time, and he could really see an uptick, I think, with that scoring void left by LaMelo.
Nick Smith, single digits in 3 of his last 4 games. I feel comfortable with him being on the waiver wire in my league. All right. Detroit went to Cleveland tonight and got their heads beat in. The Cavaliers' core 4 reminds me of Denver's core 4 when they won the championship. You had Gordon, you had Porter, you had Jokic, you had Murray, the core 4. Oh, my God, they're just too good, right? Boston's core 4 last year, White, Porzingis, Tatum, and Brown. This core 4, dude, Mobley and Allen each had double-doubles tonight. Mitchell and Garland both were in the low 20s with 6 or 7 assists. They had like mirror image stat lines, the bigs and the smalls. So let's talk about some fantasy here. Dean Wade didn't play tonight. Karis LeVert was out tonight. Oscar Coro was out tonight. And Ty Jerome has really been consistently producing. Tonight, he had 15, 2, and 3 with a steal. In his last 4 games, he's gone 18, 33, 6, and 15. Also, Doc, you've got Max Strus low-key rising. He hasn't popped yet, but he's starting to put together some Max Strus stat lines where he does the block, steal, 3-ball thing. So Ty Jerome or Max Strus, if I told you, you have to go pick up one of those guys, who are you going to pick up right now?
I think I'm taking the starter, who is Max Strus, and only because Karis LeVert didn't play, you meant Okoro didn't play. I feel like LeVert needs to be out for Ty Jerome to be a lock, but I have noticed Jerome playing a lot better. So it's kind of a toss-up to me, but I think on nights when Karis LeVert's playing, I think I'd rather have Strus.
I agree. It's if Mitchell or Garland's out, I want Jerome because it's going to be on the ball more. And now we're talking about maybe a double-double version of him as opposed to the scoring version of him. But I agree. I would say that Max Strus would be the guy that I went with there. Doc, I know that Tobias Harris is one of your favorite players here. So let's have a conversation about Tobias Harris and possibly the waiver wire question mark. He really came to play for Doc tonight. He had 2 points.
He's not my guy, dude. Tonight. I don't have him anywhere. I didn't touch Tobias Harris.
I'm kidding.
I know you are.
I'm just
some dude in Iowa is tuning in for the first time and thinks I love Tobias Harris. I just want to make sure that guy knows that's not true.
Wow, a sensitive Dr. A.
I'm not sensitive.
The last 2 weeks. I'm messing with you, dude. Over the last 2 weeks, Tobias Harris, Doc, is at 9.5 points and 5 rebounds, nothing else, shooting 40%. And then tonight, craters like a spaceship from a Mars, mothership on Earth and completely crashed. So You feel good about the waiver wire and Tobias Harris right now?
I do. Like, if I had Tobias Harris and I had Alcere Thompson and I had to drop one of them, they scored a total of 2 points and hit 1 of 15 shots. I'm dropping Harris and keeping Alcere.
I would not do that. I would keep Tobias Harris over Alcere Thompson, who's on this minute never ending. He and Lonzo Ball are just no's because of the minutes restrictions that they've got him on. All right, Doc, let's pardon me. Move on here to Sacramento and Brooklyn. Sacramento gets the win. All-star statements by Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. And we know that the reserves are going to be announced very, very soon. Coaches are probably doing voting right now. And both of these guys need coaches' votes. And they're both not going to make it. One of them, I think, has to make it, Domantas Sabonis. He had 21, 22, and 10 tonight. My God. And then De'Aaron Fox had 30 and 7 on 11 of 19. They were fantastic. Jordy Fernandez went with a Steve Kerr rotation tonight. Steve Kerr, I mean, he's created a whole thing. Coach Bud, there's all these other teams now that do this Noah's Ark, 10 guys play 20 minutes rotation. Okay, Steve Kerr, it's your fault. Jordy Fernandez did that tonight. 10 dudes played 12 plus minutes, most of them in the 20s. Keon Johnson couldn't even thrive tonight without Cam Johnson. Keon only had 10 points in 23 minutes because he didn't play long enough. And then, Doc, Cam Johnson, he'll be reevaluated on February 3rd. Bye-bye, Cam Johnson. This is probably the last we've seen of him this year, brother.
You guys called it. I wasn't with you on that one, but it's coming to fruition. And where's the other Cam? Are we ever going to see Cam Thomas again? This box score for the Nets is an absolute disaster. And I mean, there's literally 10 guys on your waiver wire that you could go pick up and maybe get minutes from. But can you trust any of them? Jalen Wilson, Noah Clowney, D'Angelo Russell has been good. Where I have D'Angelo Russell than Dennis Schroeder, I know that. Keon's been good. Zaire Williams has had moments. Tosan, however you say that dude's name, has been good and was good tonight. Day'Ron Sharp, Tyrese Martin. It's crazy. And I don't really trust any of them.
I have a good handle on Portland. I feel like I have a decent handle on Utah. I don't have a handle on the Nets. You mentioned Tosin Evwamwam, Jalen Wilson. I'm not. I don't know how to say the young man's name. I'm trying here. Jalen Wilson hits threes, brings no defense. Day'Ron Sharp had a double-double tonight. I don't care. Let's get some traction, okay? When guys fully bottom out, then. But I don't know. Maybe Jordy Fernandez is just going to go with this mishmash rotation, Doc, and it's going to be a different couple of guys every night, and it's going to be a dog chasing its tail in fantasy basketball. That's kind of how I feel about the Nets tonight. I have my eye on Keon Johnson. We've scouted him up. He had some really juicy stat lines earlier this year when he was playing 30-plus minutes. That's just kind of where my head and heart are at with the Nets right about now. All right, so let's move on here, Doc.
Real quick. Sorry. Keon Ellis, right? He's one of the most important players on the Kings. Brewski, I think, was right. 3 triples, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 11 points, 30 minutes. The dude is their defensive stopper, and I think his minutes are they have to stay around 30 going forward. So I know he doesn't score a lot, and he's been frustrating, but I do think Keon Ellis is a pickup for the Kings. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's all good. I do not. I looked into him. I know he had a pretty good stat line tonight. It was all low dough, nickels and dimes in the previous games to that. So I do not agree, my boy, Steve Alexander. We thank you guys for watching the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. Help us out. Go to sportsethos.com and subscribe. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the podcast and leave us a 5-star review. Doc, we have been pretty good at nailing things this year. Dante starting over Mike Conley, Khalil Ware starting next to Bam Adebayo. Pat Riley taking the numbers off of the suspensions and just making it out indefinitely. And today we got that news, Doc. Shams Charania of the Heat have suspended Jimmy Butler indefinitely after serving a second suspension of 2 games for missing the team flight to Milwaukee. Butler was eligible to play Monday against the Magic. He reportedly walked out of Monday's shoot-around after being informed he would come off the bench, prompting the indefinite suspension. Haywood Highsmith, Doc, has been tabbed to start over Jimmy Butler. How do you think that is sitting with the narcissistic Jimmy Butler? Haywood Highsmith took your starting job, bro. Can you imagine how pissed off Jimmy Butler was when Spo was like, yeah, and, such and such and such and Highsmith. And Butler's like, what? Highsmith just jacked my starting job? I'm out of here.
Yeah. And Jaime Jaquez was out with an illness. So that may have factored into that. But, dude, I bet Pat Riley was like, hey, when Jimmy comes in today, you go tell him his ass is coming off the bench. And let's see what he does. Like, Riley knows exactly what he's doing, dude. He's like, you messed with the wrong bowl, son. Because Riley don't care.
He doesn't, dude. He doesn't. So, Pat, love you, but you're welcome. I'm here to help. We are here to help here at Fantasy NBA today. We've got some pretty good ideas about this league, man. So the Heat beat the Magic in overtime tonight, okay? So amid it all, they get it done. So here's what life looks without Jimmy Butler. The Miami Heat have a new big 3. That's right, I said big 3, including our guy, Khalil Ware. It was our idea, of course, that he starts next to Bam Adebayo. That was germinated here. We're going to take all the credit for that. Tyler Hero tonight, 30, 8 and 12. Bam Adebayo, 26, 10 and 9. Yo, Bam, it's about time you on a monster stat line. And then Khalil Ware, the next Wilt Chamberlain, 19 and 10, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 4 threes. Let's go, Doc, because Khalil Ware over the weekend had a stat line. He got right back up on the horse here tonight, dude.
Hit 7 of 8 shots, hit all 4 of his 3-pointers. Khalil Ware's been awesome. He's the hottest pickup in fantasy. He's still, what is he rostered at in Yahoo?
100%, dude.
No, it's not. He's at 46% in Yahoo, which means it's even less in ESPN. Just go pick him up. Don't ask me questions.
Wake up, people. Dude, that's pretty like Goga Batadze, Wendell Carter Jr. Cut them for Khalil Ware, right? Cut them. There's probably some teams out there. I don't know, Doc. I'm trying to think of kind of like
Nick Richards. Drop Nick Richards for Ware.
Clint Capella. Drop Clint Capella for Khalil Ware. Nick Richards is a good one, Doc. Nick Richards had a fat game over the weekend, but you'd rather have Khalil Ware?
Yep.
I would too.
And I think that Jimmy Butler, I mean, can we safely say now that he's played his last game for the Heat?
Yep.
So that means Khalil Ware is my number 1 pickup in all of fantasy. Nikola Jovic is not that far behind him. And Jaime Jaquez, who's sick tonight, is not that far behind him. And it also brings Duncan Robinson onto the table. You like Duncan Robinson anyway, right?
I do. He had a nice game tonight. I think he had 3 threes, at least 2 3. I think I'm getting screwed up here. He had like 3 steals, 2 or 3 threes. I don't know, 13, 15 points, whatever it was. Duncan Robinson stuff. You look at his game log in the 3-ball, it's like 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 5. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a Duncan Robinson guy. I've always liked him. What if they don't trade Jimmy? What is our read in that case? At that point, Doc, I think Pat Riley has to just say, Jimmy Butler, it's been real. Go home. We don't want you here anymore. Teams can do that. At that point, they're going to have to pay him. And look, they're suspending him right now indefinitely without pay, and they're sounding real real, strong in the press release and all this kind of stuff, Jimmy's going to get his money. They will fight it through the Players Association, and the players always get their money. Do you remember when Ben Simmons was at odds with Daryl Morey that summer after Ben Simmons didn't dunk, in the Hawks game, and they were at it in the trade and everything? Ben Simmons got all his money, okay? And that probably pisses off Daryl Morey to this day because he really did want to take that money back from Ben Simmons. But the players get their money. But who cares? That's my read on it, Doc, is that, and that's what I said in the buy low, sell high article I just put out. Jimmy Butler is a risky buy low right now because I do think he's going to get traded. I do think his value is going to take a big time boost. But Doc, he's a dead man walking right now in Miami. Okay, he needs a trade to rescue and resuscitate his fantasy life right now.
Yeah, and Pat, like I said, man, if Pat Riley can't trade him, he's like, fine, go home. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't know that they're going to be able to find a suitable trade for Jimmy Butler. So he may just get sent home. It would not surprise me at all if that's what happens.
They have to. They have guys. He's not helping them win or lose. He's just going through the motions. You just send him home. He can do more Michelob commercials, and everybody will be happy, okay? It is Cam. It is Doc. We're the Fantasy NBA today. Doc, give me an answer here. Outside of the Miami Heat's big three of Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Khalil Ware, give me one Miami Heat player to roster. Give me one.
Jovic.
And I say Robinson. And I say Robinson.
Okay.
Andre Lemouche, our great producer, one Miami Heat player to roster beyond their big three. Who is it? I say Robinson. He says Jovic. We'll give you Andre's answer here in a minute. He's probably going to go with a third different guy. That's Andre likes to do that.
No, remarkably, he's agreeing with me.
He said Jovic. Okay. Let's talk about the Orlando side here for a minute, Doc. There's some actionable stuff for us going on here. First of all, Jalen Suggs. Okay. Left quad contusion, did not play. He was questionable, then ruled out. Now, Suggs on Saturday came back from a 10-game absence with the back injury, suffered this new injury. So, oh my gosh, right? Here we go again. Suggs just can't get it right. Okay, so what do we do in the fantasy circles? Very simply, who is taking his minutes? Anthony Black is, not Cole Anthony. Tonight, overtime game. Pardon me. Anthony Black played 42 minutes, 14 points, 3 assists, 1 block, 5 steals, 2 threes. Cole Anthony played 18 minutes off the bench and was awful. And then also, Doc, well, go ahead on that. What's your take on that point guard?
The fact that Cole Anthony only played 18 minutes and Anthony Black played 42, and the Magic have been struggling. I'm kind of feeling all in on Anthony Black at this point. I don't know when Jalen Suggs is going to be back, but until it happens, if you're holding Cole Anthony, I would drop him and go get Anthony Black. I think he's sort of a must-have guy until they get this figured out with Suggs' injury.
Completely agree. Anthony Black is a way better goody guy than Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony, when he's rolling, is a PRA guy. He's 17 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 threes, no steals, no blocks. Anthony Black is long. He's got a defensive mindset. He is going to bring goodies, and he's not a great three-point shooter right now. 2 3 balls for Anthony Black is actually a hell of a game from the 3 line for him, but 6 in the defensive categories. That's Anthony Black's game. And what does Jamal Mosley absolutely have to have? Defense, okay? And frankly, he's a better fit. Cole Anthony's a bench player. He's a poor man's Jordan Clarkson, microwave guy off the bench. That's what he is. And then, Doc, in the hall, we had the return of Goga Batadze on Monday. Wendell Carter Jr. still started, went 14, 7, and 5 with some other goodies. Goga went 10 and 9 with a block. Solid stat lines for both of these guys. And Wendell Carter Jr. has been really good over the last 2 or 3 weeks. The Goga has been out, but Goga really appeared to solidify that 5 spot for Orlando before this concussion that kept him out a long, long time. I think, Doc, that let's look out into our crystal ball here. I think what's going to happen is Goga gets his starting job back, and eventually plays more minutes than Wendell Carter Jr. Okay. And so I don't think that we're going to be rostering Wendell Carter Jr. for very much longer. If I had my pick between the two, they're both on waivers, I'd go Goga Batadze. How about you?
Yeah, I like Goga. And I'm thinking he just came off the bench because he just got back from a concussion, like you said. I assume he'll get his job back and not lose it because of an injury. It's not guaranteed. Wendell Carter Jr. has been pretty good since he's been gone, but I like Goga.
All right, Doc. Let's move on to Memphis and New York. This was like a tight game at halftime. What happened? Dude, the Knicks annihilated Memphis in the second half of this game. The Grizzlies left their defense in the locker room 143 to 106. That escalated quickly. Shout out here, it's the Knicks, right? There's rarely ever anything actionable for them. You had some good bench games and a blowout, right? Who cares? McBride played well, Payne played well, Achua played well. I don't care. Because the next game they're going to have a combined 12 points, right? And you had Brunson had a pretty good game, Cat had a pretty good game, and Hart didn't really have a great game. Bridges and OG Anunoby, my God, are these guys good. They combined for 43 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 blocks, and 7 steals. OG had 6 steals tonight. Shout down to Ja Morant. He got doubled up by Jalen Brunson. Way to go, Ja. Madison Square Garden, the Mecca, and you give him 10 points? What the hell is that, dude? And then finally, Doc, because I don't want to spend a ton of time on this game. Zach Edey is coming on. Last 3 games, Doc, he's putting goodie lines out there. 9, 11, and 3 blocks tonight. 19 and 7, 4 blocks, 2 steals in the previous game. Then 13 and 11, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. And he's not even getting crazy minutes here, but Zach Edey appears to have turned a little bit of a corner right now, Doc.
Yeah, he had 9, 11, and 3 blocks. He only played 19 minutes. They're divvying up those minutes. But then again, this was a huge blowout. So who knows? You can't really read too much into this. I still have trust issues with Edey. But if he's playing well and he's the best center available on my wire, I wouldn't mind. I'd pick him up. But I'm not like racing out there hoping he's available.
I disagree with that. And maybe there's a little bit of a name value tug here. I'm not saying that I would rather have him than Khalil Ware or anything crazy like that. But if you talk about like big man pickups here, and I'm kind of going back through our notes here from the games we've talked about here. Like I'll put it this way: I would rather have Zach Edey right now than Goga Batadze and Wendell Carter Jr. That I would drop those 2 guys to go get a Zach Edey right now. Would you do that?
I don't know. Edey's played well in 3 in a row. Before that, it was garbage. Before that, it was triple singles every night, dude. It really was. It was 7 and 6, 2 and 7, 4 and 4, 6 and 5,
so
2 and 7.
So Goga would be your pick out of those 3 bigs?
I think so for now. But I'm keeping an eye on Edey. I need to see Edey do this 2 more times in a row, and then I'll buy in.
I understand. I'm not mad at you. I understand. Yeah, Edey, you got to show Doc a little bit more. I'm dropping Goga to pick up Zach Edey right now. Andre, again, break the tie here. Are you dropping Goga right now to go get Zach Edey? Or are you hanging in there with a man named Goga? All right. Fantasy NBA today. It is Cam. It is Doc. Steve Alexander, FSWA Hall of Famer. And me, Rick Kamla. Pelicans at Raptors. I know, we have to talk about this game. Scotty Barnes, baby, rolling right now. 21, 11, and 8. By the way, the Raptors won again, okay? He had 1 block and 3 steals. Last 2 weeks, Scotty Barnes, 19, 8, and 7. Ooh, Scottie Pippen-esque. 1.5 blocks, 1.7 steals, and 1 3 per game. That's my kind of stat line. Bruce Brown, Doc, did it again. And he's helping the Raptors win. He's actually a big part of the plan right now. Tonight he went 12-9, 2 assists, 3 steals. He's been 10-plus points in 4 of the last 5 games. And Doc, Zion Williamson graced himself with our presence. I'll flip that. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, and it's time to make those sell-high offers with Zion Williamson. Offer him straight up for Jared Allen. Offer him straight up for Derek White. Offer him straight up for Dyson Daniels. Offer him straight up for P.J. Washington, and do it now.
And Khalil Ware.
Ooh, I would much rather have Khalil. Good call. Do a 1-for-1 right now, baby. Zion for Khalil Ware. Go get you some baby Wilt.
I did not know Zion Williamson could block 3 shots in a game. Like, where did that come from, and where has it been? Like
it's all the way he took off in the offseason, dude.
He's like Cotton Eye Joe, dude. My goodness. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know what to tell people about New Orleans. It's a disaster, is what it is. Yves Missi. Would you rather have Zach Edey than Yves Missi?
Oh, I'd much rather have Zach Edey. Much rather have. Not even.
Missi had 0 points, 5 boards, and 3 blocks.
Missi's on the waiver wire right now.
He's literally the only center. Well, no, they have Daniel Tice, who had 0 points in 14 minutes. They have no centers on that team.
I'm not saying Missi's dead to me, Doc. He's just a waiver wire guy right now. Because I think Missi could resurface after they shut some guys down and, you know, that kind of thing. But right now, Missi's a waiver wire guy for me.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Jakob Poeltl is a automatic double-double every single night. And Bruce Brown, I think, is a thing. He's a pickup. And so Chris Boucher might also be, man. Like, there's spotlighting, showcasing these guys to try to trade them.
Yeah, dude, our guy Kelly Olynyk finally started getting 15, 20 minutes, and then now he's got a calf injury, and Kelly Olynyk is out. I don't know what the hell is going to happen with him the rest of the way, but the Raptors are winning, guys, and so are the Bulls, Doc. They beat the Nuggets on Monday night, this game in the Windy City. I get such a kick out of Stacey King, man, calling the game, and Adam Amin. It's such a great crew. But Zach LaVine hit a big 3 late in the game, and Stacey King goes bang, bang, bang. It cracks me up. Vucevic and LaVine were fantastic in this game. They weren't Hall of Fame great, but they were really, really good. Okay, now let's get to the fantasy of this. On the Bulls side, Doc, we did have a very actionable moment here. Ayo Dosunmu started over Patrick Williams. Billy Donovan went super small tonight. He went Lonzo Ball, Josh Giddey, Zach LaVine, Ayo, and Vooch, okay? So 4 guards, basically, and Vucevic. And Ayo had a good line, okay? More goodies than I'm used to him putting out there. He had a block. He had 2 steals. He doesn't usually do that. He had 4 threes. He does not usually do that. He had 17, 2 and 2 with the PRA. Pat Williams off the bench did Pat Williams things. A very nondescript 11, 8, and 3 with a steal, okay? The most boring stat lines out there, okay? So, but Doc, you know I'm not an Ayo Dosunmu guy. He's 12, 4, and 4 in the PRA. The block, steals, and threes are just light to me. So, but are you geeked about Ayo right now, starting over Pat Williams?
If it sticks, and I know Lonzo Ball probably isn't going to last, and now Zach LaVine's going to miss a few games for personal reasons. All that stuff points in Ayo's favor. And Ayo has not really gotten hot this year. When Ayo gets hot, dude, he puts up good numbers. Like, I'm kind of into Ayo right now.
Without Zach LaVine and without Kobe White, I'm into Ayo Dosunmu. All right, so that the Zach LaVine thing, and we knew that Kobe White was out. But if If Zach is in there and Kobe White is out, I'm not feeling Io. If Zach LaVine and Kobe White are out, Io DeSumo is a must pick up right now. I mean, and the other thing, Doc, Lonzo Ball only plays 24, 25, 26 minutes. Lonzo Ball's not playing 30 minutes. So, yeah, so that's how I would treat that. On the Denver side, Doc, Nikola Jokic is just absolutely stupid. 33, 12, and 14. And it's like a game that nobody will talk about, right? They lost, so it's an otherworldly stat line buried in a loss. 33, 12, and 14, and it's ho-hum stuff for Jokic. That's unreal. And then, Doc, Christian Brown, okay? Christian Brown is on a massive heater right now. He had 28 points in this game. He has 20-plus points in 5 of his last 7 games. He is becoming a really, really consistent scorer for the Denver Nuggets, and he is taking a bite out of Porter Jr., Gordon, and Russell Westbrook, Doc.
Austin Reeves and Christian Brown are this season's Grayson Allen and Dante DiVincenzo. And Christian Brown is 49% rostered in Yahoo. Go get him. Make sure he's not sitting out there. What a great game he had tonight, man. 11 of 15. Monster stat line. Monster line.
But dude, tell him about the blocks and the steals and the three. Well, not that the Christian Brown's not a great three-point shooter, but the blocks and steals are pretty strong from him, man.
There's not one single zero across his entire stat line. It's all crooked numbers except for blocks and an offensive rebound. Everything else was just money. He's been great, man. He's the reason that they're playing so much better than they were earlier in the season. He's balling. And Aaron Gordon, I told you, bye-bye. 6 points, 2 rebounds.
Bro, they're ruining my guy.
Not good.
He should not be starting over Russell Westbrook. I'm telling you. People are going to think, oh, he's a big Russell Westbrook hater. I love Russell Westbrook. I just don't think he should be starting over Aaron Gordon on this Nugget team. But he is now.
But they're better with Westbrook, dude. You know it. You've seen it.
They're not better defensively with Westbrook than Aaron Gordon.
But they're winning. Well, and they lost tonight, but they've been winning games.
They get up a million points. I'm just saying. It's one game.
Okay.
I mean, Russ has been great, dude. You're making good points. You know what I mean? There's a reason Michael Malone is playing him. It's not like they suck with Russell Westbrook. I don't know, dude, but...
Are you dropping Aaron Gordon?
No. Actually...
Him and Tobias Harris.
10-team league, 12-team league, I'm dropping him. 14 and up, I'm not.
Okay.
You're right.
Well, Andre's asking about Jalen Smith. Dude, I don't understand all the love for Jalen Smith. We got excited about him in Indy. He didn't do anything. We got kind of excited about him in Chicago. He's not doing anything. It would take a Vooch. Vooch would have to leave for him to become relevant. And Vooch maybe getting traded. I don't know. But I'm done worrying about Jalen Smith until he gives me a reason to worry about him.
Agreed. That is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I am Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA today. The Hawks, went up to Minnesota. Once upon a time, the Rick Kamla Bowl. Fans of both of these teams at various points of my life. Right now, I'm a fan of my fantasy basketball teams. Rudy Gobert, we got to shout him out, Doc. He's balling. He had 18 and 10 tonight with 2 blocks. He's got a double-double in 3 of the last 5 games. I mean, we bang on him, but, we got to honor him when he plays well. Rudy Gobert's playing some good basketball right now. Mike Conley, flat. Again, he's a waiver wire guy to me. He had like 4 and 4 tonight or something like that. And anyway, Rob Dillingham was kept on a leash tonight. He played low minutes. I don't even think he might have had 5 points. I believe I saw DeAndre
11
Hunter
minutes.
went off for 11 minutes, right? So they're not activating him yet. Clint Capella, dude. You want to talk of DeAndre Hunter with 35. He was exceptional. There was no Trae Young, no Dyson Daniels, no Jalen Johnson, and DeAndre Hunter was like, all right, cool. I get to shoot as much as I want. But Doc, ever since Clint Capella has been benched, he has been really good. 10 and 15 with 3 assists and a block and a steal tonight. Dude, this is how you take a benching. I mean, he is playing with a vengeance right now. Do you think he's like low-key or high-key pissed off at Quinn Snyder, or do you think he's just like, get me out of here? These are audition games.
I don't know if he's mad at his coach or not. But I think he's treating it like, a professional. Like, I'm going to go to the bench and do the same thing I was doing when I was starting, and maybe they'll get me out of here and I'll start for another team. Just props to Clint Capella for holding it together. And you tell Jimmy Butler he's coming off the bench and he walks out of the arena, never to be seen again. You tell Clint Capella he goes out and gets double-doubles every night. Whatever.
I wish they would have I wish they would have said Nikola Jovic is starting over Jimmy Butler. He might have been throwing. He might have been throwing chairs. I don't know. At least David Highsmith has played some big minutes for them, in like big playoff games.
Before you bail us out of here, Mike Conley played 31 minutes. He only hit 1 of 9 shots. If Dillingham can't get minutes in a game like that, they're just not going to play him. It's Mike Conley the rest of the way. Until Dante DiVincenzo's healthy, which we don't know when that's going to be. I'm sticking with Conley. I know you don't like it. That's okay.
So you're rostering Conley. You're hanging in there,
dude. He's been good. He's been serviceable.
I'll give you that, man. I'd rather have Isaiah Collier, my new favorite player out there in Utah.
For this month, Conley is averaging. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But he's played well. He was playing well his last few games before this one. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm a waiver wire guy with Mike Conley. All right, Doc, Washington at Dallas. Not a whole lot to talk about with this blowout win for the Mavericks. Klay Thompson, hey, he popped 23 points with 7 threes. Why? Because Jordan Poole was on the other side of the equation playing for Washington. I mean, Draymond Green's probably on the phone with Klay before the game. You better bust his ass, dude, right? And so he did, okay? The Warriors will never stop punking Jordan Poole, even when the Warriors leave the Warriors and they're playing for another team. Doc, the Wizards box score was a puke bucket, okay? There's nothing to talk about. Beyond Alex Sarr, and we hope he's okay. He turned an ankle tonight and left and did not return. So maybe, does Valanciunas enter the starting 5? Do we have a Valanciunas uprising here? I mean, I got to believe, Doc, he's rostered in most leagues already. Are we going to be able to go to waivers, and get Valanciunas right now? I feel like that's going to be, you got to check, but I don't feel like I'm going to be successful in picking up Valanciunas in a bunch of places here. I feel like he's already going to be rostered.
He probably should be. Sarr going down, go get him. That's who's going to play center. Did I tell you the other day about, I was like, keep your eye on Olivier Prosper, whatever his name is.
Maxence Prosper. Omax, they call him.
Omax. He had 20 points tonight. I don't know. That game was a 30-point blowout from the get-go.
Bingo.
He got some garbage time. And Bub Carrington is not starting. I thought he was locked in the starting lineup. He's still playing a lot of minutes, even when he's coming off the bench. He's been terrible. Every day on the show, I say, well, he's still going to be a silly season warrior type of guy. I'm just sticking with it. I'll give it till March 1st, maybe.
He's on my way.
You don't have to hold him, though. You don't have to hold Bub Carrington.
Nope. Send him to waivers, folks. look, you got to stay on this every day. If you stay on this every day and you're watching, at the very least, looking at box scores, you're going to see when, oh, they shut him down, they shut him down, they shut him down. Boom, you're going to know to pounce. You don't have to pounce now. You're pouncing on a guy that's putting up triple single stat lines. So there's got to be somebody better than Bub Carrington for your squad right now. It's not Bub Carrington season, not yet, but it will be. All right, Doc, let's talk about the Bucks. They just keep winning, man. They go to Utah tonight and they buzzsaw a lame Jazz team, 125 to 110. I mean, just very typical. Giannis, 35, 18, and 7. Dame, 35, 5, and 8. Brook Lopez, 10 and 6 with 3 blocks. Middleton, actually pretty good tonight, 22 on 10 of 13. Bobby Portis is away from the team with personal reasons right now. So there's nothing else to talk about. And then, I mean, it is what it is. They're so top heavy. On the Utah side, where's my guy Collier? 12 and 8, 3 steals, 6 of 9. I like that. And Jordan Clarkson came back 13 points with 5 assists. Your guy Bryce Sensabaugh played well. But Doc, what about Keontae George coming off the bench here behind Isaiah Collier? How do you read those tea leaves?
I don't like it. I'll say that. I do like the fact that he's still getting minutes. Like, I think Utah knows we got to play Keontae and we got to play Collier. I'm not quite sure why he's starting. I mean, why he got moved to the bench. I get it. I mean, same reason Bub Carrington got moved to the bench. Neither one of them can shoot the ball. I mean, once they trade somebody like Colin Sexton or Jordan Clarkson or Lauri Markkanen, then I think Keontae will go back in the starting lineup. But as long as he gets 30 minutes, I don't care if he's coming off the bench or starting.
I like the breakdown, dude. I really do. That is Dr. A, Hall of Famer, a.k.a. Steve Alexander. I'm Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA today. One more game to talk about here, guys, on a massive Monday night, the Clippers at the Suns. But we want to ask you a question. Have you downloaded the Sports Ethos app yet? It is completely free. It'll keep you updated with all the news you need for your fantasy basketball teams, individual player blurbs, NFL, MLB, and NBA. They're all out there for you to help you dominate your leagues and win championships, and tell everybody about the great stuff going on at the Sports Ethos app. Again, it's completely free. Go to your app store and download it now. All right, Doc, the Phoenix Suns defeat the LA Clippers tonight, 111 to 109 in a thriller. Phoenix moves to 3 games over 500. The Clippers slip to 6 games over 500. On the Phoenix side, you know, a usual suspects special here with Durant and with Booker combining for 50. I don't really see it. Nick Richards didn't play well tonight. Grayson Allen did, but Bradley Beal did not. But look at this Clippers box score, Doc. I know they took an L here tonight. Powell, Harden, Zubats, Jones, Kawhi, check the box on all 5 guys. You had Amir Coffey playing 34 off their bench. Otherwise, it was barely anybody played. T. Lewis pushing his chips into the middle of the table with his starters. Kawhi Leonard up to 28 minutes. His play is beginning to ascend here, and I'm starting to see him on the court and in the box score look like Kawhi Leonard, dude. Like, even in a loss, that's a pretty attractive box score from the Clippers right here, dude.
It is. And Kawhi Leonard looked good, but my guy Derek Jones Jr. still got 31 minutes. Powell got 38, and even Amir Coffey off the bench got 34 minutes. So he's finding a way to play all those guys together, or play them all big minutes. So that's pretty wild. Kevin Porter Jr. has been good this year, but he needs somebody to be hurt, mainly James Harden, for him to be relevant. So I don't think he's worth hanging on to.
Let's talk about Tyus Jones here for just a minute, Doc. Monte Morris didn't play tonight. Jones was solid, 17, 5, and 4 with 5 threes in 28 minutes. Tyus Jones is a guy that we had kind of talked about, moving on from. because Coach Bud went with the Steve Kerr rotation type of thing. The minutes have been a little bit more consistent for Tyus Jones, 31, 27, 26, 32, 28. He's got 3 double-digit scoring games in his last 5. The assists have been pretty good. There's no defense at all, which sucks. Is Tyus Jones to be rostered right now, or is he a waiver wire guy for you right now?
I still think he's generally a waiver wire guy. And Bradley Beal had been playing very well. Bradley Beal had 9 points in this game. I think if Bradley Beal scores 25 like he usually does, Tyus Jones is not going to have 17 points. He'll probably have 4 assists though. I just don't think he's a consistent double-digit scorer, and the other numbers aren't big enough to make me want to have him on my roster. And somebody out there is probably like, well, then why does this guy like Bub Carrington so much? I just think Bub has some silly season potential. Tyus Jones, I don't think does. And what is going on with Nick Richards? Did we get bamboozled into thinking he was good? You're muted.
Pardon me, guys. He just had a 20 and 19 on Saturday. Nick Richards did. So I'm cool with Nick Richards. Okay, these are his stat lines in the last 5 games. Tonight he sucked. Zubats really took his lunch money. 6.7 rebounds, 1 block. Previous game, 20 and 19 with a block. Previous game, 8 and 15, no blocks. Previous game sucked, 4 and 4 with 2 blocks. And then the previous game, he was 21 and 11 with no blocks. We got to get the blocks up here a little bit. He's got 5 stocks in 5 games, which is awful. The rebound numbers are awesome, and the scoring numbers are pretty darn good. I'm okay with this. I am, Doc. I'm rostering him. I'm playing him. I'm still. Let me look at the minutes here on Nick Richards. 20 tonight, 34, 22, 22, 29. Okay, could be a little bit more, but I'm content with that. I'm liking what Nick Richards is doing. I'm hanging in there with him.
Okay, you answered my question.
Yves Missi or Nick Richards?
Richards. I will take
here.
Nick Richards in that instance. Because Missi ticked me off with his line tonight, and he has not popped in a while. New Orleans is a mess.
Yes, they are, dude.
I feel like he's kind of hit a wall.
I know. I hear you, man. So Doc, we're at the end of the line here. Anything else for you before we say goodnight to the people on a big Monday night?
Congratulations to us all for keeping this show under 1 hour. We did it. I'm not sure how.
Now go pick up Isaiah Collier and go pick up Khalil Ware and do it at once. All right, for the great Dr. A, for the great Andre Lemouche, I am Rick Kamla. We thank you guys for watching the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. Keep in mind, our trade deadline show is going to be bigger and better than ever. We're going live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Thursday, February 6th. We're going to cover every trade, every player, every team, every asset. We've got you. It's going to be great, and we want you guys to make a note of that and put it on your calendar. And this show right here was proudly presented by Bet Online. See you soon.